What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe. No days off DFS. I'm sorry for the super late upload video. Honestly, this is gonna be really quick and short. As you can tell, your boy is sick as a dog, but at least want to give you guys something. I will still have my cores and notes and stuff out, but at least it's a nice small 5 game slate. It's a Saturday. We got some decent games going on. So if you guys can stand the raspy voice, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's go ahead. Let's get it. Over here for the injury report, we're ignoring the 6 o'clock game. Minnesota, nothing new. New Orleans Pelicans, they're resting Zion and Alvarado. He's not going to be playing, so we should see Jeremiah Robinson Earl slap back in starting lineup for them. We've seen this already before. Miami, they're still without Hero, still without Hampton. For Chicago, everyone's playing, everyone's good. Alex Caruso should be playing for them. Dallas without Kepler, this should be actually like a really good matchup because we got shooters going up against a poor defense. So I really do see some fantasy value in this game. Beauchamp and Crowder are going to be out, so that of course gives some backup minutes for like Pat Connaughton, for Bobby Portis, and those players off the bench right there for them. For Memphis, they got a shit ton of injuries and stuff that they're dealing with, the people all being out, so a lot of usages and stuff to go around. We know that Marcus Smart's going to be out for a hot minute. For San Antonio, they're on the back end of back-to-back. Vassell, he's already been ruled out. Definitely pay attention for some of these teams that are on the back-to-back. Milwaukee is also on a back-to-back, but they really didn't play their starters that deep yesterday. They smoked them yesterday. Okay, see, nobody's on the injury report, and we definitely want to pay attention if Steph Curry is going to be back or not. Haven't seen anything updated on that since the afternoon update report, but all these games, they're starting pretty early on today, so no 10 p.m., stuff like that. So we probably should have at least some type of idea close to lock because that game tips off an hour and a half later on. So they definitely should be out there on the court warming up and things like that. Looking over here on DraftKings, if you guys don't got an account, check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus. Join me over here on the King. Like I said, we got some marquee matchup. We got Luka taking on Giannis. Normally some fireworks whenever they play. Giannis, they got him as a game time decision, but he's going to play. I don't see him sitting out. Didn't have to play, 28 minutes yesterday, so, he should be able to get up for this game right here. So definitely going to be an interesting game to see how everything goes and goes down in that game. SJ, of course, 10-5, but you got to make a decision on if you're going to play one of these studs. I honestly do think that you're going to end up playing one of these guys on today's slate, and one of the players that might go a little bit under owned just for the fact of his price tag is going to be Bam, but I'll touch on the studs a little bit more whenever I get down to that part. So looking at it, of course, how I like to really talk about that value. One of the guys, of course, that sticks out for value is going to be Gilliard, 4,800. He's going to be starting. We've target the opposing point guard position going up against the Spurs all season. Gilliard, he's going to start for Marcus Smart. Played 21 minutes in the last game, 19.25 fantasy points. Decent spot. We've seen opposing point guards. They've had some pretty good games. Fox just last night went off for 69 fantasy points. Not saying that he's on the same level as Fox. Granted, I do expect players like Bane, JJJ to step up in the spot, but Gilliard, a cheap guard who we see he can put up some production when he's getting the minutes. I don't mind going to that right there. Another player that might go under the radar, just because he's actually back now, and I don't think people are so used to clicking his name just yet. But Najee Marsh, a pretty good shooter, good defender out there when he's out there, can rebound a little bit as well. Definitely don't sleep on him at 4,300. We could see him possibly slide to the starting lineup instead of JRE, so definitely get some clarification on that. Either way, if he doesn't start, I don't mind him as another value play that you can take off the bench, maybe get him at some lower ownership. Definitely a play that you can definitely run to. Then, of course, like I already said, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 3,800. Either way, he and Marsh, they should play some minutes here. I don't mind it, but if JRE starts, he's a pretty good fantasy point per minute producer, but if he's not going to start, I'm probably going to just pay attention to Najee Marsh. I really shouldn't have to even talk about this, but Jonathan Kuminga, 4-9, he's going to start for Draymond Green if they run that same line that they ran last time. Either way, still Kuminga, he's going to play the minutes. His physicality going up against the Thunder, he's actually always has played pretty decent going up against us whenever they actually give him run. He produces some pretty decent fantasy points. So either way, even if they don't start Kuminga, I do like him as another value play that you can go to on today's slate. That I do feel can definitely pay off. And then one last piece for value that I think that we should actually pay attention to is going to be James Jaquez Jr. going up against the Chicago Bulls. This game, I expect it to slow down, but Jaquez, they love this kid. He plays off the bench. He's not going to start. They're going to start Highsmith, and if Highsmith gets himself into foul trouble or anything like that, trying to guard DeRozan, Zach LaVine, so on and so forth, he's going to still go ahead and see his minutes, get his shots up, his production. A prop that I know I've been riding for the last 2 games since he's been playing and getting the minutes has been his points. As long as they keep it under 8.5, 9.5, I will take that. He's getting enough shots to get over that. And at 4.7, that's a pretty good value price that you can go ahead and take a chance on that. Some honorable mentions that players that are in decent spots that we can also still look at. Kyle Anderson, if you're looking for some value in that Pelicans and Minnesota game from the Minnesota side. And then Shampetti, if they're going to go ahead and continue starting this guy, I don't like him just because if his shot's not falling, he's not really going to do too much out there for you. But for whatever reason, Pop likes to play this kid instead of going with, who's it? Branham or whatever. So if Pop's going to go ahead and start him, then I see no reason why we can't go ahead and at least look at him. But there's some better value that we can definitely look to on the slate. All right, going over and talking on our studs. Like I said, in regards to Gilliard, on the other flip side of that, we're going to see Desmond Bane, the usage. He can go ahead and contribute to some of those playmaking duties out there with Marcus Smart being off the court. Sitting at 8-9, that's a really great price tag for him, especially going up against a Spurs team who we did just see get lit up by De'Aaron Fox out there on the court. We already know Bane, what's he going to do? He's going to go out there, he's going to shoot. He's a shooter. He definitely can play lockdown on the defensive side as well. This is going to be a fast-paced game, back and forth. Going to be on the road. We know his usage is going to be there. It's been him and the JJJ show, so definitely really do like going to Desmond Bane once again here, sitting at 8-9. That's a really great price tag. Now, if I'm choosing between Giannis and Luka, in all honesty, it grades out like Giannis is the better player. Of course, I think that's just because of his salary sitting at 11K. But Luka is a shooter. I know what he's going to go out there and do. They might try to put Chris Middleton on him. They will be dead wrong if they try to put a smaller Malik Beasley, who he should be able to bully back down. And honestly, I do not see Dame being able to stop a lick of water trying to guard Giannis. I mean, not Giannis, try to guard Luka. So, the DVP says Giannis has the better matchup in regards to what he can go out here and do going up against him. But I personally, I like Luka here in the spot. 12-2, I know the price tag is pretty heavy, but if I am choosing between the two, GPP upside, I think it's going to be Luka. The triple-double upside that he has, the ball's going to be in his hand, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth option. I definitely do like that for him. But I definitely do see coming out here paying for Giannis. He's going to go up against that Grant Williams, Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively defense out there. Should be able to still, of course, bully his way to the rim, get fouled, get hacked. Probably could, not even probably. I'll take a chance on his free throws made today if that's actually up on prop sites. Wouldn't mind taking a chance on that. But outside of that, definitely worth consideration and in play. Another player, like I said, Bam, we already know he's going up against the Chicago Bulls. Bam has been on a mission, playing completely different this season. I definitely do not mind going to Bam, especially, of course, still no Tyler Hero. Decent usage. Center is going to be pretty much him and Jimmy Butler out there doing what they got to do to go ahead and carry this team. So definitely some merit in going to Bam out of Bio. And then last main stat that I actually want to focus on that I would consider as my top plays over here at the position, Anthony Edwards going up against the Pelicans. His usage is pretty much been through the roof, and he's doing it more on just scoring. He's actually looking to facilitate. He's getting very active in crashing the glass and rebounding as well. The matchup looks like it grades out to be a pretty good matchup, and we have seen opposing shooting guards, which is what Anthony Edwards plays technically, have gone off. KCP, low usage player yesterday, 28.25 fantasy points. Kyrie, 29.5. Of course, it's not all that great, but the first game, he dropped 58. Jalen Green, 32. Anthony Edwards, the first time that they matched up, 51 fantasy points. So the list can go on, and honestly, I see nothing but green in regards to any of the shooting guards that have gone up against the New Orleans Pelicans so far this season. I'm not too scared of that defense right there. So definitely another stud that you can come down to instead of trying to pay up here for some of these higher price studs. Of course, some honorable mentions. Of course, you can go with Jimmy Butler, Keldon Johnson. We already talked about Luka, SGA, and Kyrie Irving if you want to fade and come off of Luka Doncic as another possible play that you can go to at the position. All those, they grade out as pretty decent plays, but do not make my top list as it stands. All right, going down to the mid-tier range, if you're looking for some fillers and stuff, if you already got a couple of value plays that you're going to play, and then you're coming down here, you're looking for your fillers that are going to fill it in. Definitely, if you don't want to go with like the Anthony Edwards or something like that, maybe you can come down here to a mid-tier option at the center position. As long as he's starting, I know he's a pretty decent fantasy point per minute producer. Minutes have gone down, of course, since Tillman is back. But Bismack Biyombo, the block upside that dude has, I can see him stuffing Zach Collins a couple times. 5'9", do not mind the price tag. As long as he's at least going to see at least 20-plus minutes, I don't hate or mind that for Biz. Definitely someone that grades out as a pretty decent play on today's slate. And then outside of that, my boy Dyson Daniels, we know he's going to get the start at the point guard position, has been performing pretty well whenever he's out there. 5'4", do not mind paying that for a starting point guard that's going to go out there. We know he's going to have the usage. He will play even if the game blows out. He will be out there on the court. So another play that we could possibly consider and I'll go to right there. Jalen Williams, power forward for the Thunder. I know Kuminga, he's going to be out there, but Jalen Williams, he had a pretty decent game last game when they played, going up against the Warriors, 31.25 fantasy points. And then the first game that they played, he dropped 32 fantasy points in that game. So pretty good history going up against the Warriors himself. And opposing power forwards, even with Draymond or without Draymond, have actually had their way going up against the Warriors. Either way, the production is there for him, especially, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, SGA, he has floor games whenever he plays going up against the Warriors. So Jalen Williams, we could definitely see him pick up the slack and pick it up on that end. Definitely, if you can't get up to SGA, or if Steph plays Steph Curry, or if you want to play someone else besides Kuminga and you want to get something from that late game, I definitely do think Jalen Williams, he's a safe bet for at least 28 to 35 fantasy points that I would definitely take and gobble up in this spot on the slate. Outside of that, some other honorable mentions that I would go to. Dario Saric, if he gets to start over Kuminga, definitely would be a smash spot, smash play. We already know the dude is a really great fantasy point per minute producer. Played 24 minutes against the Thunder last game and dropped 24 fantasy points in that time while he was out there. Rudy Gobert, if you don't go with Karl Anthony Towns or if you don't go with Anthony Edwards, is another play you can go to. He's been playing pretty steady, and we already know that he's going to go out there. He's going to rebound. I'm not gonna. Well, I'll bet you. I can guarantee he's gonna get a double double. The Pelicans, for whatever reason, they are a horrible rebounding team this season. I don't know what it is or what's gotten into them, but definitely a spot you can go to right there and take that. And then if you want to go with old Dusty Busty, can't be trusted, Mike Conley at 5'2". I gotta mention him just because of the price. Decent price tag at 5'2". Another piece you can get from this game. He's been somewhat steady throughout the season, at least giving us 20-ish fantasy points. So don't hate him, but for that price at 5'2", I'm gonna just go ahead and find a little 200 I need to get to Dyson Daniels on the other side if I'm going to go anywhere in that range, or I'm going to go with my boy Gilliard right there at the point guard position. All right, so if I'm building out, I'm going to go with my main two top value plays right now on the slate. That's going to be Gilliard. If I'm going ahead and I'm building out my line, it's going to be Gilliard. And then right now, just because I'm expecting him to start, it's going to be Kuminga. These will be my main two that I go to right here. And then I'll look at what studs I actually want to go ahead and build around. And currently right now, looking at the studs and where everyone grades out, I kind of want to go to this Memphis and San Antonio Spurs game, and I definitely see myself getting some Desmond Bane. Jaren Jackson Jr., I don't mind him, but going up against Wembanyama, long as he's going to play in the duo Zach Collins, I can see him getting himself into some foul trouble, but the block upside I think might actually be there for him. I just like the upside for Bane with no Marcus Smart out there right now. That's going to be the main guy that I'm going to go to over here on the side. And then outside of that, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to go in regards to, but this will probably be my main three that I would actually put and start my core build around, the two value pieces, and then one somewhat stud that I want to go ahead and build on. So hopefully I gave you guys some info, some tips, some stuff that you guys can use on a nice slate. Again, I'm sorry for the raspy voice. If you guys made it through the video, thank you. Drop a like on the video. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow and I can drop another video and definitely get it out on time, which for me is definitely not an hour before the slate actually locks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's your boy Zoe. Peace.